Hey, we're back.
We're back.
It's episode 38, and
I'm okay.
we are still,
Fine. Really?
like six, as of this recording, like there's like 6 episodes that are coming out before this one will be posted, so we're way ahead of the curve.
We're on brand.
Yeah.
In that we record like 12 episodes at once, and then months of gap, and then we're back. Like nothing ever changed.
That works though, because I redesigned these are the Friday episodes, and the Metal Gear things are on Monday, and then everything else is in the middle of the week.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never been.
What the fuck was that?
Sid is the best. This Sid is the best. He's just a gruff badass.
And the list of Sids,
It's the one we found.
I like Sid from 8, he basically looks like Robin Williams.
Nice.
And he runs I signed Waka. And he runs the school.
Brother!
Yeah. Sid from 7's great, the spear carrying gruff. Never made it to space guy, where he's like, sit down and drink a goddamn tea.
See, once again, I have only played... Well, I've played a bunch of Final Fantasies, but this is the only one that I've played extensively.
Right.
So this is the only Sid I know. I know how, like...
Oh, he's a good one.
How there are Sids in every game, and how every game has rules. Like, actually, I take that back. There's one other game I've played in the Final Fantasy series, and that's Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube, which I love, but just could not handle. Like, my 10-year-old brain was just like, I don't know how to handle this. This is real-time RPG, and I still can't get it. It's ridiculous.
After rescuing Yuna.
Have you ever played that one?
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I never had it, but I got it from the video rental store.
Hill, which you probably know where that is. I don't know how many viewers know where it is, but they had a video rental store called West Coast Rental, and that was where I first discovered Super Ghouls and Ghosts, or Super Ghouls and Goblins, whatever it's called, I forget. And we rented that back when I had a Super Nintendo, and I hate it. I hate it because I just could not, I couldn't get past the first part. Worst.
He called Yuna his, niece, right? I mean, so that makes her our bed, right?
Waka.
Don't say
Waka.
Yuna's
You got it.
The gears are turning. I love Waka, though.
Waka's awesome. I know I badmouth him for being racist all the time, but he's good. He's a good dude. It's the culture.
He gets really, really broken. And now, see, this was recorded off of the PS2 version. I had and I played and I platinumed the PS4, like the remake. So it was ridiculous. Or 9999999.
There you go.
Yeah, almost 100,000. But it's interesting. This is one of those parts where you have to just talk to people to trigger the certain, the next cutscene to happen, and
while we were thinking,
that's such an RPG trope, though. Like, you gotta talk to exactly the right person, sometimes in the right order too.
And it's really fun to do the first time around because it's like you want to talk to everybody anyway and see what's going on. But now it's like, okay, how do I trigger this? Yeah. There's a really bad one of those. This time I didn't know what the trigger was, but you have to go like into the medical room where your one party character is like passed out. And then he has a scene, and then you talk to someone else, and then you go back there. It's like, really?
Hey. Wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know why. This may be like lizard brain stuff going on in here, but for some reason, Bavel, just the way it looks, really skeeves me out, and I can't explain why.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I think it goes back to, and I just mentioned to you before I was playing some Final Fantasy 12 again. It kind of has that imperial vibe to it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is any like super uptight looking city. It's just like, it's not. And this is like the center of Spira, and like, I don't know. It feels weird to me. I get the same feeling. I can't really explain it.
I think
it's just like, I think it's just like the aesthetic to me that bugs me.
I think the reason is then this is just me trying to psychoanalyze myself, basically.
Right. That's what
I think it's because when you're in Luca, it's this really friendly odd and kind of like homey almost. Like even like when you see the Blitzball Stadium for the first time and how it fills up with water, it's like, oh, that's a nice touch. That's nice.
Yeah.
Like I could see myself living here if I were in a fantasy landscape. And then you go to Bevelle and it's just like this weird like, it's almost like this one more again, and you're like in that dark place where you're running down the pathways.
Yeah, the high bridge area.
Yeah, the high bridge area. I couldn't remember what it was called, but like that is just creepy to me. I don't know.
It
why.
is. I think I kind of agree with you. What I said earlier, it's kind of picking up the same feeling, but it's hard to describe. Where it feels. This is a weird word to use for it, but it feels corporate.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Take care of him in Macalania?
Don't attack the cord. Be nice.
He is dead.
Love bites only.
His goal was.
I have a puppy. And this is no. Ow. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that one hurt.
Him from the next.
Your teeth are way sharper.
Scary.
Yeah, just give her one of these.
That works.
Yuna must be trying.
And it doesn't hurt her, and she just knows, hey.
Wonder if that'll work.
Don't sit on the space bar.
Yeah. Checking in with Walker for the third time.
What you got to say, bud?
God, I would love to, absolutely love to, like, get a voice part in something like this, where it's like, they just bring you in, it's like, okay, I have to have you read the same, like, few words and phrases in, like, 20 different ways.
Yeah. Alright, give us some pain sounds. Give me 5 pain sounds.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't remember where I was watching it, but there were like some bonus features to Overwatch where they were showing some of the voice actors. Because for some reason, the voice actors in Overwatch are like super public and beloved. Like how Matt Mercer is one of them, and like all these other famous voice actors are part of it. And it was the woman who voices Anna.
Yeah,
I
know who.
They had her in the studio, and it was like talking. The voice director was telling her like, "This is the scene. Like Angela just saved you from dying, and you're really grateful and out of breath, and like on the brink of living." And she just like gives like 5 different speeches. And like, that's really fascinating. I never thought about how you do that with voice acting.
So this part was kind of cool to me the first time I played it, because like any scene like they do this where like there's monsters in your base kind of thing. I think it's always a good touch in games, and more need to do it. To go off what you were saying, it is really great and interesting to see. I know I rewatched one of my favorite animes, Evangelion, and I watched the director's commentary on the movie where there's this great scream that the guy who does Shinji Spike Spencer does, where they said he literally like felt like he was almost gonna cough up blood from it, like, because how many takes can you do like a scream that lasts for like 25 seconds at the top of your lungs?
Yeah.
You know?
Just repeating what I.
Shut up, Ren.
Wow, Ren, jeez.
Ren is actually a really bad guy, if we go by the lore from 10-2.
Which I still have not played. Give me the goods.
Okay, so it's like, is this part of the canon or not, kind of thing? But he discovers like, the energy from the far plane is like energy in the planet, he basically discovers the live stream from 7.
Okay.
And the kid that you work with in 10-2, like the genius kid, his name is Shinra, which is the Shinra Corporation. 7 and 10 are connected, which,
that would be
interesting.
That would be wild.
Because that's never happened before.
Saying, like, the planet in 7 is not the same planet as 10, but
Yeah.
they're connected. Oh, yeah, this thing. I forgot about this thing.
This was, I don't know if it just was because I was, it's close to your age. So, a couple years younger than me. But, like, we're still right in that same generation of consoles and everything, where it's like, you play the PlayStation 2 shit for the first time after you play N64. Your mind is fucking blown when I see this fucking thing on my screen. And then, like, to play Final Fantasy 12, where it's, like, just graphically is so much even nicer than this, and it's like, this thing is like, the PlayStation 2 is about to explode. It's working so hard.
It's one of those things where it's, like, hot and buzzing from using so much power. Before this part ends, that just reminds me of how I got my Wii. I'll try to say it as quickly as possible.
Oh, go ahead. We can take as long as you need.
Like, I really wanted a Wii back in 2008 or so, and I was like, and I told my parents, like, I've got to get this thing, because Super Mario Galaxy is going to be for it, and I want that so bad.
Right.
And they went to Best Buy once, and they're like, got any Wiis? And apparently the guy's like, no. Actually, hold on, let me check the back. Which, if you've ever worked in retail, means nothing.
Yeah.
But the guy actually checked the back and found one Wii, and it was probably, the reason why it was back there was probably because he wasn't supposed to do anything with it, because that thing buzzed. Like, gears ground down, and, like, it was just in bad shape the whole time. It was just, like, it's like, just this sad little orphan Wii that his parents abandoned because it was crippled.
It might have been in the damaged goods, is what you're thinking?
Yeah, probably.